Dominus Cinephile.
Welcome to my movie and TV series reviews, where I will provide honest opinions of the latest releases. If the movie or TV series is a hit or a miss, be sure to know I will inform you. But if the movie or series is trash, be also sure to know that I will trash the hell out of the movie. I am Dominus Cinephile.
And the movie on the review table today is the Nollywood film Hijack 93. Hijack 93 is a 2024 suspense thriller inspired by real events that took place in Nigeria in 1993. Written by Musa Jeffery David and directed by Robert Peters, the film boasts an impressive cast, including Sam Dede, Efa Iwara, Bob-Manuel Udokwu, Nwosu, Isime, Idia Aisien, John Dumelo, Sharon Ooja, Nnamdi Agbo, Jemima Osunde, and Oluwaseyi Akinola. The movie follows the gripping story of 4 young Nigerians who risk everything to stand against a corrupt military-backed government. In 1993, fueled by a desire for freedom and justice, they hijack a Nigerian Airways passenger plane, aiming to make a powerful statement that forces the world to take notice. As tension escalates on board, each moment reveals the moral struggles and sacrifices of the hijackers, the passengers caught in the crossfire, and the nation's uncertain future. This high-stakes thriller captures a pivotal moment in Nigerian history, where courage and desperation collide. As expected, Netflix picked up Hijack 93, premiering it on October 25th, 2024. Before its official release, the trailer hit YouTube and other social media platforms, sparking modest anticipation but revealing glaring issues that all but killed the excitement. The trailer itself laid bare many of the film's flaws, foreshadowing a disappointing experience even before the release. But before I dissect and tear this movie apart, let's dive into the historical context. Hijack 93 is based on a real-life hijacking incident in Nigeria in 1993, a year of political tension and turmoil, which set the stage for the story this film attempts to tell. The 1993 Nigerian Airways hijacking, which this movie is based on, was a highly dramatic event driven by intense political unrest and widespread dissatisfaction with Nigeria's military regime. On October 25, 1993, 4 young men, aged between 19 and 24, hijacked a Nigerian Airways Airbus A310 en route from Lagos to Abuja. The hijackers, Richard Ogunderu, 19, Kabir Adenuga, 22, Benneth Oluwadaisi, 24, and Kenny Rasak Lawal, 23, took control of the plane, hoping to send a powerful message against the oppressive military government. Ladies and gentlemen, this plane has been taken over by the Movement for the Advancement of Democracy, MAD. Please remain calm. We will not harm you. You will be informed of where the plane will land, Richard Ogunderu announced to the bewildered passengers aboard Nigeria Airways flight WT470, which was en route from Lagos to Abuja on October 25, 1993. Having just graduated from secondary school, Richard intended to further his education in Canada. However, at this moment, he was holding a plane hostage alongside his accomplices, Kabir Adenuga, Kenny Rasak Lawal, and Benneth Oluwadaisi. Upon taking control of the plane, the hijackers doused themselves and some terrified passengers in petrol. Their ability to smuggle the fuel was facilitated by a broken walk-through metal detector at the airport, which had gone unfixed since 1987. The hijackers brought aboard kegs of petrol in raffia bags, lighters, a canister of tear gas, jackknives, and guns they later claimed were fake. Driven by a sense of patriotic duty and anger over Nigeria's stolen democracy, the hijackers of Nigeria Airways flight WT470 sought to draw attention to the political crisis and demand the release of political prisoners. Armed with toy guns, they took control of the plane, demanding that authorities broadcast a message calling for the restoration of democracy and the annulled June 12th election results. To ensure their demands gained significant attention, they targeted a flight with influential passengers, including 3 members of the military national government and the Vice President of China, Rong Yiren. Initially directing the pilots to fly to Frankfurt, the hijackers attempted to refuel but were denied landing permits in multiple countries. They eventually landed in Niamey, Niger. After hours of negotiation, they released 123 hostages, including women, children, and foreign nationals, while retaining Nigerian VIPs to pressure the government. More hostages were released the following day, including Brigadier General Hafiz Momo, who had health issues. The hijackers claimed they never intended to cause harm. They simply wanted to be heard. The young hijackers made 5 key demands during the initial hours of the hijacking, including an inquiry into the unsolved murder of Dilegiwa, the founding editor-in-chief of Newswatch magazine, who was killed by a parcel bomb in 1986, and clarification regarding the mysterious crash of a Lagos to Kaduna flight in 1992 that resulted in the deaths of 160 passengers. As the hijack entered its 3rd day, Nigerian soldiers stormed the aircraft just before the hijackers' 72-hour deadline to set the plane on fire. In the ensuing gunfire, hijacker Richard Ogunderu was wounded, while Assistant Purser Ethelbert Nwanze-Igwe was killed, making him the only fatality of the incident. Although the hijacking did not lead to immediate political change, it underscored the frustrations of a generation and became a symbol of resistance during a tumultuous period in Nigeria's history. With the real-life context set, let's break down the sheer chaos and missed opportunities that this movie threw at its audience. Frankly, nothing about this film worked. Neither the storytelling, cinematography, nor acting. For a film based on a historical event, the writer and director failed utterly. The lack of research and understanding of the 1993 hijacking was painfully obvious. This film took a powerful moment in history and turned it into a muddled, uninspired disaster. From the very first scene at the airport, the film was riddled with issues. The visuals failed miserably to recreate 1993, instead resembling a present-day airport. Some luggage carried by the extras looked unmistakably modern, and a few actors were even dressed as if they were in 2024. Why attempt a period piece if you can't even create an authentic setting? Presenting 2024 as 1993 is absurd. Continuity was utterly disregarded. In the airport scene, we watch a female flight attendant sneak into a restroom, open her bag and hide a light brown bag, supposedly smuggling weapons on board. But here's the kicker. Later, one of the hijackers somehow retrieves that same bag with a gun in it from the airplane restroom mid-flight, without anyone having brought it there. How did a bag placed in an airport restroom miraculously appear on the plane? This glaring continuity error is just one example of the careless, thoughtless direction that plagued the entire movie. Even the trailer foreshadowed the film's failure, teasing a haphazard mess that feels more like an insult to history than a tribute. One glaringly absurd aspect of this movie was the execution of the hijacking itself and the laughable reactions of the actors playing the passengers. Despite the gravity of the situation, the passengers seemed unnervingly calm, lacking any genuine fear or anxiety. When some of the minor actors attempted to portray fear, it came off as embarrassingly unconvincing, almost comical. The direction was nothing short of atrocious, with the actors aimlessly performing without guidance, utterly failing to convey any sense of fear or discomfort. Watching these scenes was a painful reminder of how poorly handled this production was. The errors in historical accuracy and missed opportunities were numerous and inexcusable. Case in point, all the soldiers in the film were armed with AK-12 rifles, a weapon that didn't even exist in 1993. Clearly, neither the director nor anyone else involved bothered to conduct proper research, diving headfirst into production without any commitment to authenticity. This movie is a prime example of sloppy, careless filmmaking that fails on every level. The performances from nearly every actor in this movie were frustratingly subpar. The characters were completely devoid of backstories or any distinct personalities, leaving the audience with no reason to connect or invest in them. At times, it was difficult to even distinguish one character from another. Despite the small cast, they all blurred together into a forgettable mess. Bob-Manuel Udokwu's performance was particularly disappointing. His portrayal was painfully robotic, resembling one of those Tesla humanoid bots, lifeless and stiff. His dialogue was an uninspired string of one-liners that lacked any conviction or authority, making his role as a supposed military figure almost unwatchable. Sam Dede, like most of the cast, added nothing of substance to this film. His character was clearly intended to be an intimidating figure, yet came off as a cheap Hollywood knockoff with none of the complexity or depth that makes a true villain compelling. His lack of backstory and sparse screen time made his presence practically irrelevant. By the end, it's easy to forget he was even part of the movie. In short, the performances were flat, the characters were empty shells, and the film utterly failed to build any meaningful engagement. This film is a masterclass in how not to handle casting, character development, and performance direction. The four actors portraying the hijackers were a complete letdown. At certain moments, it seemed they might rise to the occasion, delivering some genuinely tense scenes that fit the thriller tone of the movie. Their gradual realization that their mission had failed was one of the few highlights, along with a humorous dig at dentists not being real doctors, which was surprisingly entertaining. But like much of Nollywood's output, any hope for solid performances nosedived quickly, ultimately succumbing to the disastrous execution that plagued the entire film. Another major failure was the superficial portrayal of the hijackers' motives. Reducing them to just young guys looking for social change was a gross oversimplification of the real complex motivations driving their actions. Specifically, their outrage over the annulled 1993 Nigerian election. By ignoring the political tension and historical context that led to the hijacking, the film squandered an opportunity to create a meaningful narrative. Had it explored these events with depth, it could have been engaging for audiences genuinely interested in the story behind the hijacking. Instead, it settled for shallow storytelling, leaving viewers with an unconvincing plot that failed to honor the true story. Hijack 93 is nothing short of a disaster and a glaring example of how Nollywood often falls flat when tackling historical narratives. This film fails on every conceivable level, from its lifeless cinematography to the lack of vision from its director, who seems content to bombard viewers with endless, uninspired talking heads and static camera angles that do nothing to enhance the film's quality. In summary, Hijack 93 is burdened by abysmal performances from both lead and supporting actors who fail to bring any depth or authenticity to their roles. The CGI used to depict the airplane scenes is laughably poor, making it painfully clear that the crew lacked even basic technical skill. Rather than immersing the audience in the tension of a real-life hijacking, the movie feels hollow and amateurish, with no sense of urgency, suspense, or emotional impact. What's truly unforgivable, however, is the script's complete lack of research. The dialogue is littered with cliched one-liners, and the plot shows no understanding of the hijackers' motives or the psychological toll on the passengers. The entire project comes across as a half-hearted effort from filmmakers who appear to have neither the knowledge nor the commitment to tell such a story with the respect and complexity it deserves. Simply put, Hijack 93 should never have been made in this state. To do justice to a pivotal event like the 1993 hijacking, Nollywood would need directors of the caliber of Christopher Nolan or Ridley Scott, someone capable of capturing the gravity and nuance required for such a story. This film is a regrettable misfire, one that only tarnishes the legacy of a significant moment in Nigerian history. And now for my rating. Hijack 93 scores a well-deserved 0 out of 10. I'm definitely trashing this. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, WhatsApp channel, and Instagram at Domino Cinephile for more movie and TV series reviews. Domino Cinephile, signing out.